is tutorial 18 in a series that I'm doing for the finite element analysis in the 3D experience release 2024X. Now, I did a similar tutorial, but under the number 17, and it was using the concept of some subtle issues when we use linear multi-instantiation to basically create instances of a part and assembly. And in that tutorial, I actually looked at a part as shown here. So this is made of basically four pieces, one, two, three, four identical pieces. And of course, it can be done with a part, because I'm assuming that these joints are all perfectly bonded together. So essentially, we have a single part. But I decided to do it using an assembly, but specifically wanted to show you some issues or points about a linear multi-instantiation. Now, I'm going to do this tutorial 18 for the same type of problem, but use an alternative approach. In other words, I make a three-story building like that. This is, of course, the approximation. And this is made of a single block, okay, which is uh, stacked together in this way. And I'm assuming all the connections are completely tied or bonded or welded. And therefore, essentially, this problem can also be done as a part. However, I'll do it as an assembly because I want to show you some things that are not quite obvious, but can be used effectively. Now, I have prepared slides here, and these slides are going to be shown to you instead of going back and forth between them. They're going to be made available to you at the end of the video, okay? Or maybe I can do it now, and you can stop and check whatever you want. But basically, I'm following these set of slides. There is 26 of them. Of course, I'll go through this thing with you, doing it in a step-by-step way. But in case you want a screen capture, I'm showing it to you this way. This is when we create the finite element module. It's a very simple linear static analysis, but it's the process behind which is, I think, worth looking at. And it's not obvious by any means. All right, so let's go back here. I'm going to go to the 3D experience right there. Immediately, I save this thing. All right. And then what I will do, I'll create a dumb part here, and its sole purpose is to have some direction. So this is an assembly. Right now in an assembly, right click, insert. Either you can do 3D shape, that's one way of doing it, see that? Or you can, while you're in the assembly design, you go to the tab here, it says Access System, you click on it. It says that in order for me to do that, basically you have to create a 3D shape. We say create it now, and this is the name. And notice that it does create it and puts it in the tree with an access system. I could have alternatively done right click, insert, 3D shape. And once the 3D shape was created, I could have put an access system here, okay? But I did it a different way. So if you go back to the slide here, basically that first slide, it shows you step-by-step fashion how to do this. Okay, good. Then I'm going to insert a product here. That product is going to be something that I will instantiate 3 times to give you basically the 3 levels of the building. So right click, insert product. You click on it right there. Can you see that? Now, if I put the cursor on this, now I'm at the top level assembly. If I put the cursor on that, it allows me to do a multi-instantiation of this part, of this product. Of course, there's nothing in it. I realize that, but that's the whole point of this tutorial, because it allows us to get to where we want to go very quickly. So I'm going to go like that. Now notice that what happens is that based on whatever I had before, okay, it will use that coordinate system, that direction, in order to stack 3 of them on top of each other. Actually, I want yeah, 3 of them on top of each other, the original one plus 2 more. Yeah. Or if you want, you can use this coordinate system that you created to change the direction. Now, this is fine. I don't want to change that, but you can do it in this way. Okay, so if you go to this basically slide, it shows you can do it like this, or you can stack them on top of each other. And you know what? I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it in the horizontal direction, just like I've done there. Okay, so let me go back there. This is fine. And if I left click here, it's going to create 3 of them. Okay, and that's where we are. Okay, now. All right, let's go back here. If you try to rename these things to be first floor, second floor, third, because these are linear instantiation of each other or instantiation of each other, they all will have the same name. It's not going to do you any good. So I'll just leave this thing the way it is. And that's what this fellow is talking about. So just leave the names they are, because if you try to make it, for example, this one first of all, everything is going to be first of. So just leave it the way it is. All right. Now, what are we going to do next? So what we're going to do is we're going to go inside of one of these 3 products, and basically insert a 3D part. Now, it doesn't matter which one. So I've decided to do it here in the second product, 3D part. So let's go back there. So I go here, go there, right click, insert, 3D part. Now, as soon as you do that, it repeats that and puts it in every one of these instances. You can see this. You see this? I put it in the second one, but it puts it in the first one and puts it in the third one. So that's what this is doing. Okay, now I'm going to I'm going to make one of these 3D parts that I pick and sketch something in it and pad it. And it doesn't matter which one. So what I have decided to do is I choose the third one. I choose the third one. It absolutely makes no difference. So I go here. I'm in this product, and I go and double click on, right now I'm here, right? So I'm going to double click on this. So it's going to make I'm going to put a sketch in the third one and then pad it. When I do that, it will also do it for these other products. Okay, so let's say on that horizontal, which one is that? On that horizontal plane, I will sketch. Okay. Notice that it's trying to do it all three of them, and it is actually. So let me make a rectangle here. Notice that it's doing for all 3 of them. It's interesting. So let's put some dimension. This is going to be 20 millimeters. Dimensions don't matter. That's fine. All of them like that. And this one is going to be 10. Okay. Exit. And then pad it by 80. Good. So this is what happened. Notice that I put that part in the third one. But if you look at it, if you look at these other ones, they all have the path. It's exactly the same thing. All right, good. Now, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go to one of these products. It doesn't matter which one. And take one of those 3D parts and do a linear multi-instantiation of it in a different direction. So for example, here I've decided to go to the first part. You see that? I've decided to do the first one and do an instantiation of it in the vertical direction. So let's go here. I'm going to go to the first one. Okay. And when I go to the first one, I'm in assembly design. You can see that because I double click on the product. And then I put the cursor on this 3D and do a multi-instantiation of it. Now, not in the direction X though, because if you look at this this thing, it's in the direction Z. So what I have to do is for the direction, I select the let me see. I select this direction. See that? And of course, you can control the number of them. I want 3 of them, and this and the spacing of it. The spacing is controlled by this. You can drag it up or down, but it's okay. We just leave it the way it is. And then I say, okay. Okay, meaning click on the screen. And notice what happened. It did exactly the same thing with these other 2 parts. I did this thing in the first product, but it also automatically got inherited and done in the second and third product. You can see that right there. All right. So that is what this is talking about. Now, I can go and apply material to any one of these, and the other ones are going to inherit it. So I decided here to do a second part of the third product. Okay, second part of the third product. So, oh, before I do that, actually, let me see which one I did first. Did I apply material? Yeah, apply material. Second part of the third. Sorry. Second part of the third product. Okay, so let's go here. Third product is right there. Actually, let me minimize these things. I don't need. Third product is right here. And I go to the second part right there. Double click on that. Or on that, it really doesn't matter because I can put the material on this second part of the third product. This is the third product. This is the second part. Okay. And then I go to tools, find the material browser, and I have a basically steel properties. I already created one here. As a matter of fact, you know what? Instead of browsing, let's actually go ahead and do it together. So let's go here, create a material. I'm going to call this thing August. What is today? 8, 2024, just so that I can identify that. All right, and then we say okay. So it's going to create a template for me. Just be patient. August here, August 8, 2024. And I'm going to say apply. I'm going to apply to this, right? Yeah. And then green check mark so that it does it. And as soon as you do that, you can see that as soon as you do that, it puts it there, but it also puts it in every other part, including the parts that are in this this other product. So now I have to put in the numbers. So double click on that because I didn't put any number there. Let's double click on that. Oh, sorry, double click on this line to put the numbers in there. So it's going to be structural. I didn't put the density because I'm doing a static analysis, but if you go to structural, abacus multiphysics, mechanical, elasticity, elastic, 210 GPa. 210 GPa, and Poisson ratio 0.3. If you want, you can put the density 2 and 0.3. 0.3. If you want the density, you just click on the general option, density, and you put it in there. Why don't I do that? 78450. That's for steel, kilogram per meter cube. I don't need it, but I did it anyway. And this thing is going to be applied, these numbers are going to apply to every single part that is in here. Okay, so what did we do? We just did the applied material. Then in the same place that I am, and I'm pretty sure you can do it elsewhere, but while I'm here, since I applied the material right there, I'm going to insert, right click, insert FEM, finite element model. You click on it. Okay, notice that it's inserted here, but to actually mesh this thing, you double click on that branch. See, I'm in the second part of the third product. I could have done this thing anywhere. Double click on it. You're going to go into measure. It only shows you that second part of the third product. You go to measure. I'm going to do a sweep mesh. And I'll click on that. Except that I don't want the way this is being swept. So I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to manually select the target and the source. Remove this and remove that. So for the source, I'm going to select the top. And for the target, I'm going to select the bottom so that it's swept in that direction. All right, 5 millimeters. That's the element size, and the number of layers through this is going to be 10. So we say mesh, and there we are. Now this is going to be done for every single part. Now let me just make sure that I'm using the same numbers here. So let's see now, where are we here? Let me see. I am using 10 layer. Yeah, it looks like that. Actually, 5. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good. So let's go back there. You know what? I'm going to make this thing 10 and see, because I don't have too many things here. 10. Let's see now. Mesh. Yeah, I like this thing better. Okay. I'll put it back to 5. Good. Okay. Now we say okay. And now we do apply the properties, the solid section properties. So you click on the properties, you click on solid section, and you select the part, this part body. Notice that the proper material was selected, and we say okay. So material is also used to define the section properties. Now this is done for every single one of these. For example, if you go to the third part, let's go to the first part. Here is the, first the product. Here is the first part. Notice that it did create the same mesh. And then now the reason it's not showing is because these are hidden. If you say right click, hide and show, they'll come back. Okay. Yeah. Right click, hide and show. They're there. It's just that they were hidden because of the fact that we meshed it like so. Where's this guy? This fellow. All right, good, good. Now, so where are we now? We did this. So basically, this is the setup. Now, what we want to do is I want to put these things together. Okay. What I'm going to use is I can do that to any one of these products, any one of them. I can do it the first product, second product, third product, but I decided to do it with the second one and then use the snap option in order to put them in the right spot so that I get things like this, and then like that, and then like this, etc. So let me go out here. All right. Let's go out here. And first of all, we need to go to, which one did I start? I started to do it with this, and that was, I believe, this fellow. Okay. So double click on that so that you are in assembly design. Now I want to take one of these. I want to take one of these and rotate it. Okay. So how do I do that? So let's go to assembly, and you can use the uh, pre-selected component. So see? So I'm going to select this. Notice that it put the cursor there. And then if I double click on that, I can rotate it actually by 90 degrees. Okay, so about the x-axis. So here's the x-axis. And it will do all of them. It will do all of them. That's fine, no problem. It'll do all of them. And then we say okay, and then click on the green check mark. And now I want to bring this and put it over there. Okay, so let us look at the following. We're going to do a snap. Snap. I want to put this point. Oh, the second one is over here. This point on there because we are doing it for the second product. Okay, so I have to. This is a second product, and I want to put it on there. Okay, good, and it'll do it for every one of them. And then again, another one, another snap. For example, let me see now. This point. Actually, let me cancel that. Escape. Snap. This point. This corner point. And I want to snap it to this corner point. There we go. You see, it did it for all of them. All right. And now I want to put them on top of each other. No problem. And let's go down here. Okay. Now, in order to put these on top of each other, obviously, I have to go to this product. Okay. So this is fine. Double click on the top so that I'm at top level. Okay. And then just do a quick save here. All right. So I can do another snap. For example, I want to put this point on top of that point. Hang it. Let me cancel that. I'm using the first one. Actually, let's go to the first one here. Let's not go all the way to the top. Let's go to the first product and do this. Okay. So snap. Actually, we have to go. No, because we cannot pick these things. We have to go to the top. Cancel that. Go all the way to the top. Okay. Let's try it now. Snap this point. I want to put it on that point. You have to go to the top, right there. Okay. And another one. This point, all the way on the top. There. And what we have now is basically this thing. Now, if you don't want to see the mesh, okay, if you don't want to see the mesh, you can actually hide the mesh, and we will do that in a minute. I mean, it is possible to do it now. For example, you can go to any one of these, say, don't show me the mesh, but I don't want to do it like that. You see that it just shows you that, but I don't want to do it at this point. So let me just undo this. Good. So we have reached this point, and now we're going to go to the structural model creation to create the assembly mesh, because we don't have a mesh at the assembly level here. Okay, notice that there's no mesh at the assembly level. By the way, if you don't want any of these lines, there's no problem. You know how to do that. Control F. Find me. Control F. Find all the planes and hide it. So plane. Find and select, and then once they're selected, hide them, because I don't need any one of these, so you can just hide them. This is find and select, binocular with an arrow on it, and then I can say hide. So I'm going to hide all of them. All right, good. Now we're going to go to, remember we said that we're going to go to structural model creation. So this thing pops up, and that's what this is saying. So I want to update, say fine, update. And then it says, okay, which one of these you want? You want empty FEM? And it says, okay, which parts do you want to be there? Which things you want to be there? If you look at it, I don't want the first one. The sole purpose of the first one is to create that coordinate system so that I can specify direction. I want these three to be in there. And then when you're done, just minimize that. Minimize it like that. There's no close, so you just minimize it. So basically I did this. And now I have to include the mesh. Okay, this, although it has created, there's nothing in it. So you go to the setup and click on this contributing finite elements. You click on it, and that is what this thing is. Okay, so go back here. Put the cursor on any one of these. It really doesn't matter which one because they all have the same mesh. So for example, you can go to the top one and you can go, I don't know what I've done here. I've gone to the top one, it really doesn't matter. Well, I'll go to this one instead of going to the top one. Put the cursor there, right click, and you say select FEM on all instances. And this is what happens. And that is what this is showing you. Okay. And now to make sure that everything is done correctly, you say, okay, if you double click on that, this pops up and it shows you the kind of element, size, etc. So it's done correct. And then when you're done, just you could just I suppose minimize it. You can close it. We don't need it. Okay. So we are right at that spot. And now we are ready to go. Oh, we have to tie the nodes. Okay? So it has to find the nodes that are tieable so that this is perfectly bonded. So let's go here. It's very important. You go under connection, under this tab, tie detection, and make sure you click on this is the tolerance. Any two nodes which are between this much tolerance of each other, they're going to be tied together. So you just say find ties, and it'll do it for you. That's what this is. Okay. And then we say okay. So it actually found the nodes that are tied together as if they were perfectly bonded. We don't have to change that tolerance, but there may be situation when you have to change the tolerance and look at this, look at the documentation, etc. Okay. So we are right here. And then we're going to go to the structural scenario creation, basically the finite element module applying the load and boundary conditions. Let's do a quick save here. Okay. So we go to structural scenario creation. It says fine. So where is your finite element model? The finite element model is the one that I created for the assembly. And that slide is what you see there. Okay. I did it. We say okay. It's a structural problem. And it's going to be a static problem. So I'll go on the procedure. I select static step and I make sure that nonlinearities are not included. And that what you see there is this slide. We say okay. All right. And now we're going to tie, or not tie, but we're going to clamp these two ends. So under boundary condition, we can say clamp this face and that face. You say okay. And by the way, if you don't want to see your mesh, you can say right click mesh visualization and just don't show me the mesh. I don't want to see the finite element stuff right there. The part comes back, but that's okay. I'll just keep it like this. Okay, good. All right. Now, we want to put a load here of 2000 newtons. Okay. So we go under load, force on that face, on that side face, in the direction y minus 2000 Newton. That's what my units are. And there we are. So this is what you see here. And now we're ready to run. So let's save everything first of all. All right. Okay. So first we're going to do a model and scenario check. So that if there are any obvious results, it's going to give you warning or errors. And then we do a simulation check. Okay. So let's run. This is still not running. It's doing the checking. There may be some warnings here because of the size of the elements and things like that that you may want to check, but this is a simple problem. It's going to go through. I'm sure there will be some warning here because you really, the element, the size of the element, I just randomly picked a number, particularly when you're doing nonlinear stuff. One should be very careful about that. We are not doing any nonlinear things, but and you can always check to see what these are about. Yeah, tell you what the messages are. This finished, but just give it a second. Okay, yeah, missing intersection, blah blah blah. Okay, no problem. Okay, I'm finally simulate. That means run it now. We didn't get any error message or warnings, at least for the first few trials, you can ignore these warnings. You should really have a habit of reading it, but that's not the purpose of this particular tutorial. The whole purpose was to show you how to take a very relatively complicated model as an assembly, how to create the mesh quickly and assemble it quickly, etc. Did not create any assembly constraints because these things add overhead to the problem, which is fine, but I mean it was unnecessary to do that. So basically, it's going to run, and we're going to look at the deflection. Nothing fancy. You know what's going to happen. Just wait. There will be some warnings here too, but yeah, yeah. Extracting results. Okay, let me close that. This is the initial increment, no load applied, but then when you apply the loads like that, if you want to see where the load is, first of all, this is the one meter stress. If you want to get deflection, displacement, it's on the order of 1 millimeter or something. And you say right click, mesh visualization. Oh, if you want to see the mesh here, by the way, double click. And this last tab, rendering, say also show me the mesh. It also shows you the mesh. If you want to see the load, right click, again, visibility manager. Maybe visibility manager was already open here. I put it somewhere down here. I don't know where I put it there, but mm, my visibility manager is somewhere there. It's just that, oh, maybe it's this one. Yeah, right there. Show me the load right there. And basically what I'm showing you is the last step, which is right here. Now, if you want to see who's tied to who, which nodes are tied, etc., what you can do is you can click on this color code and say, show me the tied regions. And it shows you based on this guide How do I start?